$1 million later, in just under 2 years, in a beautiful academy to help purpose-driven entrepreneurs create success in their own lives.
The dollar amount is just a reflection of the impact that we have made on this world and how many people we've been able to help through courses, programs, masterminds, live events. And that leads us up to the Bahamas, where it was all coming together beautifully and things shifted. It was horrifying. I'm somebody who's always thinking about the future and the bright side and the fourth dimension, and there was none of that. But I have come out of this now just absolutely knowing without a shadow of a doubt, even more than I knew before, what I'm here to do. It was all part of the plan of preparing me to be able to help more people. Tomorrow starts tonight. This is one life. We're only here for a short time. I only have infinite number of opportunities. I only have an infinite number of moments to experience the wonder that is this life. And I'm not going to waste a moment of it any longer.
It has been the last 2 years that have been the greatest leaps in terms of who I am and the way in which I exist on this 3D plane. And while 2022 was the hardest year for me, health-wise, business-wise, self-love-wise, emotional-wise, it has led me to be the woman that I am today talking to you in this moment. I am the healthiest that I have ever been. While my health is at its best, my business is booming. We are having the biggest quantum leap we've had in business, and it is so beautiful to watch. And in 4.5 years, we are now sitting at over 25 million in revenue, heading towards 30 million. And I am so grateful for every person that has chosen me to lead them, to guide them, to hold space for them in their ascension. I always lead from the front, and I hope that everyone sees that me deciding to become my best, doing the hard work, getting uncomfortable, helps you to become your best, make a difference in this world. Step in and choose to be daring and to be bold and to serve and to help people. We have served people in over 55 countries in the past 4.5 years. We have had over 72,000 different people sign up for my live events. We have had over 2,100 people take courses and programs through Diamond Academy and to be changed and to be elevated. And we have created multiple millionaires and multi-millionaires. And this is just the beginning. Diamond Academy doesn't turn 4 until July 1st. And so we're coming up to a 4-year anniversary. Imagine what you can do in 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, and the impact you can make on this world. So I sit here today telling you my story in hopes that you see yourself in it, that I am simply a reflection of everything you are capable of, everything you can do, and the type of life that you can live for yourself, but you have to ask for it, and you have to go for it, and you have to see yourself worthy of it, and that you can soar as high as you want into this beautiful world that we live in. With much love and with much gratitude, Kathleen.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in this world. You know me, I gotta switch to gallery view. I wanna see all these beautiful faces. As soon as the video stops playing, it goes directly to me, big on my screen, and I'm like, no, I want to see everybody else and see all their beautiful smiles. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that is here. If you are watching this live and this is your first time, please let us know in the comments. If you're on the YouTube channel, tell us in the comments too. There is something different about your first live experience with Diamond Academy. It is an experience that will raise your vibration. It will raise your belief in who you are, and I will probably question some of your beliefs around money, which is powerful. So welcome to everyone that it is your first time. And if you are a repeat offender, and I say that in the best way, somebody that loves us, loves to be in this energy, and you are coming back again, I welcome you to come back. And I hope that you know, and I want you to really, really feel like we are a safe haven. We are somewhere that you can always come back to no matter what. And we will always, always be here. I got tagged a couple of times this morning by people that have been in my energy in the past, that are coming back, that are on live. And it just, I always say, oh, my heart, So if I ever say that to you, oh, my heart, it just means that I'm really feeling it. I'm feeling grateful. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling love. And you've just touched me. I think that's probably the best way of saying it. Somebody asked me, what does that mean, my heart? I'm like, it just means you've touched me. Like I feel it. So thank you, everyone. First time, and those that are coming back again. We are so grateful. We have a very busy 2 days. I am so in spirit and so in flow when it comes to this discussion around money. We have hit a major, major milestone in our business and in the number of lives that we have served. And I'm going to talk about it over the next 2 days. I'm going to talk about what it took. I'm going to talk about who I had to become in order to do it. And I'm going to give you some inside perspective into the belief systems that I had to change in order to be open to receive. I want nothing more than every single person on here to experience a level of financial independence that they, at one point in their life, probably never thought they could experience. But I want that thought to start here today. Everything starts in the mind first as an idea. And so if I can plant the seed today in the subconscious mind for you of an elevated experience when it comes to wealth in your life, then that is what I want to do with this 2-day live event. I teach people how to manifest whatever they want. And for whatever reason, money seems to be the thing that people struggle with the most. Money and like love and relationships. And if I think about why that is, it's the level of importance that we've placed on it in our lives. And because it's so important, we're very attached to it. We need it. And so I want to change your perspective around it over these next 2 days, help you to make it mean less, but want it more. Okay. Remember that. I want it to mean less, but I want you to want it more. And allow you to tap into that. So these next 2 days, we're going to have a lot of content, a lot of information. We're going to go over a lot of stuff. But if you follow along and you do the work and you do the homework, you will see a shift. Over the next 2 days, we will be here from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The replays are always emailed out. So if you registered for the live event, please check your junk folder. Mark the Diamond Academy emails as safe so they don't get lost in the abyss of the internet. And on those replays is also going to be any homework, but also you're going to see an email from somebody from my team. So I obviously run a beautiful coaching academy. I call it a non-conventional educational institution. It's like a university. It's like a manifestation university. And in order to do that, I can't do this alone. It requires a team of people that have been taught, mentored, and calibrated to my frequency to be able to serve people and to be able to teach this information, but to help people to embody it. That's the biggest thing. So I have a beautiful team. I would love my team members to please raise their hand for a moment. So they'll all show up on the top of the screen. I wanted to show you their faces because they are real, beautiful souls and human vessels that love this work. And we all live from this material. This isn't something that we do part-time and then go back to our super neurotic human selves all day, every day. We really work on ourselves and we really ascend and elevate. And every single one of these individuals has grown tremendously. And I've given them a new challenge. I've given them a new identity I want them to really think from now. So they're up for the challenge. They're stepping it up. But these are the individuals that will reach out to you. So know their names. They have official Diamond Academy emails. We do have some imposters sometimes that, I'm with Diamond Academy. Just check your email and make sure that it's somebody on my team. But you'll see them on my social media profiles. You'll see them in the live events. And they lead with love in everything that they do. So they're not scary. The only thing that's scary is your fear of growth. And so if you're avoiding them in some way, I would just ask yourself why that is. We know it's not about them. We know that that's about you. But anyway, I say that with love. Thank you, team. I appreciate you all so much. So what I will say is over the next few days, their calendars will book up, which means that people will reach out to them to discuss things like the scholarships, enrollment into Diamond Academy, what courses, programs might be best for you. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm not going to. Tomorrow morning, the first hour, I probably won't talk about it either, because I really, really want to deliver the content. So please have a conversation with them about it. They will have reached out to you, especially the scholarships. They're actually going to be submitting the names for the recipients for the scholarships. So I want you to get in touch with them so that they can put your name forward. And these scholarships are things we're going to do from now on. So we're going to have these scholarships ongoing. This is the first time I'm going to offer 2 scholarships, one today and 1 scholarship tomorrow. So I'll tell you a little bit more about it closer to the end of the day. Before we get started on the Mad Money content, I want to give you a little bit of an overview. I just want to start with a beautiful prayer for us to begin the day. I started praying with my personal trainer, Eric. I don't even think I can call him my personal trainer. He's like, he's honestly like a soul brother, if that makes any sense. We have a connection that transcends the human space. I think he's been my baby brother in another life. And when we focus on our fitness and our health, we also enter higher spiritual realms. And one of the things that he ends every single workout with is a beautiful prayer. And I will never forget the day that we sat up in his West Hollywood condo on the rooftop, and it's this AstroTurf, and we sat down and we did our first in-person workout, which was uncomfortable for me at the time. And he said, okay, now we're going to pray. And I said, oh, okay. So I closed my eyes and I just listened. And to have someone pray for you in that way, it brought tears to my eyes. It was so emotional. So if you aren't someone that does prayer, I would highly recommend that you do in whatever capacity is for you. But for me, the way in which I like to deliver my prayer is prayers of gratitude, prayers of thank you. So in Neil Donald Walsh's Conversations with God, God speaks through him and lets him know that when you are moving in absolute trust and faith that God is delivering every single thing that you ask for, you actually don't even need to ask. You would just say thank you. So when I do prayer now, it's always in a thank you. So I just want to start us off this morning by saying thank you to everyone that has joined us on this live today. Thank you for my team for putting this together. Thank you for everyone that is watching the replay, and thank you for everyone that is contributing their beautiful energy to this live event. And thank you, God, for bringing us all together, giving us this beautiful space, this beautiful technology to be together virtually from all over the world. Hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the world. We have the capacity to be here together collectively and help each other to elevate and to ascend. So thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that we currently have. And thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that is on its way, including all the mad money that's about to roll into everybody's lives through the thought that is beginning right now in your subconscious mind through this training. So today I'm going to, over the next 2 days actually, I'm going to talk about 6 different concepts with you. These were 6 things that came through for me this morning as I sat down and asked for guidance as to what would be the best way for all of you to embody the idea of wealth in your life. This isn't about making more money. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to make more money. And many people are like, well, what do you mean, Kathleen? Like, that's what I want to do. I'm going to teach you how to be more money. Okay? To be more money. And so money is not something that we go out and do things in order to get. It is a state of being that we can connect to and tap into. And then, yes, we take action in that state that has different results. So let me give you the dichotomy between who I was and who I am. I was a registered nurse. Where's all the nurses at? I love when I attract registered nurses into my life. New, old, previous life, current life. I absolutely love it because I sit here and I think about what that nurse life was like. And anybody really in healthcare, any first responders, it is a career of service. And it is so rewarding and so beautiful. And I say this I think it's in Becoming the One. I talk about, that's my first book. I talk about how for so many years, I wanted to serve people. I wanted to help. It's a caring profession. I care a lot about people. I have a very, very big heart, and I always have. And I care so much about people. So I chose a career that led me to caring of the literally side in their darkest, hardest moments. But it is hard, challenging work, emotionally, physically, socially. It is work that requires you to stay super, super grounded and super strong. And it really, really requires you to have self-care beyond anything that you've ever had before. But what I noticed with that career was that I was giving in the way that I wanted to give, but I wasn't receiving joy in my life in the way I wanted to receive joy. And this work helped me to realize that there is a way for me to serve the world in the way that I want to care, to spread love, to influence people, but I can do it while in a state of joy. I can do it while being happy. I can do it while feeling fulfilled. And so that's the decision I made, is to just serve in a different way, but allow myself to be open to receive a human experience above and beyond what I did before. But let's talk about who I was then. I was a woman who chose to work a job for an hourly wage or an annual salary. I was a salary when I left. And I was open to receive a certain level of abundance in my life in exchange for the work that I do. And I saw wealth for other people. I saw it possible for others, people who own companies, people that are executives and CEOs, people that are lawyers and doctors, rock stars, pop stars, some of the world's most famous people. I saw wealth for them, but never for me. And what I can tell you now, the milestone that we reached, I called Chris, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago now, and I said, hey, where are we at with our $30 million? 30 million was the next moment I wanted to celebrate, the milestone I wanted to celebrate when we surpassed 30 million in revenue in 4 years. And he's like, oh, I don't know, I'll check. And he came back and he sent me a text that said, Kathleen, we've now surpassed 31.7 million in the past 4 years. So a registered nurse who made less than $100,000 a year now brought in 32 million. It's past the 31.7 now. Brought in $32 million through her organization by stepping into a new identity and seeing something different for herself and choosing joy in her life. Like you can't deny it. You can't argue it. This is my real life. People believe that I'm amplifying it, or it's some sort of a scam, or it's not real life, but that does not serve you. This is my life. I have experienced magic through spirituality meeting personal growth and development through this manifestation work. And so this is what I mean by, how can we not focus upon necessarily how to make more money, but how can we focus upon being more money? And so I had to choose to become a woman who is wealthy and who has a successful business and who is a successful leader, who believes in herself and who called in more money. So the first three things that I want to talk about today, and then I'll do the other three things tomorrow. I want to talk about what I believe money is. I think this is very, very important for all of us to question our beliefs around what money is, what we use it for, what it is here for. I also want to talk about what it means to be abundance, okay? And then the third thing is the importance of identity. So when I talk about my nurse identity, I'm not downplaying it. I am not saying it was a bad identity. It was not wrong. It was not horrible. I don't feel any kind of way about her. I am so grateful for her, for the decisions that she made. I am proud of her. I really, really am proud of her. But I look back on her and I think, yeah, I'm so glad I let her expand. I'm so glad I let her think bigger and be more bold and be more daring. So I'm going to talk about those three things today, and then I'll do another 3 things tomorrow. Remember that belief precedes manifestation. So what does that mean? What you believe will determine what you will manifest. Belief always comes first. How many times do we hear people say, oh, that extra money I made, that was totally by accident. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. It just happened. Oh, all of that success, it came out of nowhere. I had no clue. It was a fluke. Look at how lucky I am. Oh, I'm just lucky, you guys. It just showed up. No, it's very, very intentional. It's very, very powerful. And it's understanding that what you choose to call into your life will be what you call into your life. And so most of us are choosing unconsciously. So what that means is that we're sitting here asking the universe for things. We are saying, yes, I would love this, and yes, I would love that, and yes, I would love this. And we are unaware that we are in fact asking for the very thing we do not want by being what we do not want. So we think about money, for example. You say, you know what? I really, really need more money. What does the universe say? Yes, you need more money, and I'm going to help you to keep needing more money. Yes. And I think about my health even. When I believed that I was unhealthy, the universe is like, yes, here is evidence that you are unhealthy. Here's a nice flu. Here's a nice exhaustion. Here's a sore throat. Here's some high blood pressure, things like that. I have had high blood pressure in my life. And, you can hear the waves. Yeah, I am in Malibu. So if you've been following me for some time, then you know that Malibu is where my heart resides. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. Being here just lights my soul on fire. It feels so easy. It feels so light. Magic happened from the moment I landed in California. And so I'm sitting here and I was going to close the windows and I said to the team, can you hear the waves? They said, it's calming. I said, okay, we're going to leave the windows open then so you guys can hear the beautiful Malibu. Hey, I tried to move the tequila cabinet out of the way, but it's too heavy. So I don't drink, but hey, it looks good. Yeah, no, I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank in a while. So not part of my everyday life anymore. But yes, this place is beautiful. This place is stunning. I'm so happy to be here. I'm walking, I'm working out. I'm eating nutritious food. I'm taking care of myself. And I am sitting here in absolute gratitude for everything that I have in my life. And I'm grateful for all of you for choosing to be here with us. You have no idea. If you only knew what was available. Anyways, let's talk about what money is, okay? So I used to think that money was like a physical thing, like coins, dollars. And then I used to believe like it was like really, really real and like really, really important. We are taught that money is everything. And like it is survival. You need money to survive. You can't pay your bills. You can't get a roof over your head. You can't eat without it. You can't do anything without it. We need it. It's so important. And so from that place, it becomes this thing in our lives that controls us and it controls our thinking. So many relationships end because of disagreements over finances. Most people stay up late at night, laying in bed, thinking about the lack of money that they have and how they're going to pay their bills, and that anxious feeling, that stress of not having enough. And because of that, there's a feeling in the body in relation to what you believe about money. Is it possible, I just want to ask this, is it possible for someone to have no money and to be really, really happy and fulfilled? Absolutely. It is absolutely possible for someone to have no money and to be really, really happy and to be really, really fulfilled. So you're like, well, why are you saying this, Kathleen? Like, what's the point? What do you mean? I want more money. Why are you telling us we don't need any? Because I want you to disconnect from the need and I want you to move into the want. Okay? So one of the beautiful things that has helped me to shift this idea of what money is to change the way I see it. I don't see money as an essential thing now that we need, that's really hard to get, and I have no idea how to make it, and I lay in bed at night thinking about how I'm going to call more in. I now see it as a spiritual idea, that I can connect into, tap into, match the frequency of, desire it, have it come to me for my use. It's a tool. It's a beautiful resource, just like air and water, right? But we make it mean something else. So then it doesn't become this beautiful resource we're grateful to have. It becomes this limitation in our lives that keeps us up at night. So I'm just showing you the difference in the way I see it. But now I see money as a spiritual idea. And people are like, well, how does this make sense? So if we think about money as an idea, we can actually go back to the root of it and to actually go and look at where did money actually come from? Money in and itself isn't a resource that's here on the planet without us. Like the oceans are here regardless if there's humans here. The air is here regardless if there's humans here. But money, it wasn't. Money is a human creation. It began in the mind. Somebody said, okay, there has to be a way for us to figure out how we can share our resources through an exchange process. So if we go way back in time, people used to trade services. They would trade products. So I would go to your farm and you would have carrots, and I would go to yours and you'd have broccoli, and we'd say, okay, I'll have some of your carrots for some of your broccoli, and we would trade. We would make an exchange, this for this. So along the way, we've come up with this financial way of doing it, currency. And it's different all over the world, different currency all over the world with different values. We even have like cryptocurrency now. We have things I can't even really understand what they are. They're forms of currency. So it's an idea that began in the mind of a human being that was created as a resource and a tool for us to be able to benefit from one another and to exchange. But where did the idea come from? For humans to come up with this idea of money, and this is where spirit comes in. Source put the idea of money into human consciousness. Everything begins from source energy, everything. So if I don't believe that, then I think it was just humans that came up with it. This sucks. Why do we have this? I don't want to use it. I don't want to stress about it anymore. But when I think about the divine, our creator, planting the idea of money into the consciousness of humans and it moving to and through human creation to now exist on this physical plane, I can appreciate, I can respect, I can honor, and I can be like, well, this is a tool that God gave us. Whatever your belief system is, right? Whether it's God, source, universe, infinite intelligence, infinite supply, whatever your belief is. I truly believe that the idea of money came from the divine, but it is just an idea. And so when I think about the idea of money, I think, okay, if it's an idea, if it's belief systems, if it's something that I can vibrationally match, then all I have to do is change my idea of it to think differently about it to allow more of it to come into my life. So believing that money is a spiritual idea, that it has come from the divine for real purpose, for power, for benefit, for our use. It has been given to us by God for us to use it. What does that do to the guilt and the shame around money that we experience in our life? What does it do for those people that say that it's bad, that it's wrong to want it, that you shouldn't want to be wealthy? That's bad. What? According to who? Nobody that has it would say that. It's the people that don't have it that will say that. So I truly believe, Bob Proctor used to say, abundance is our birthright. And I never understood what he meant. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a state of being that is available and accessible to all of us, and we are all meant to experience that abundance. And so today, I want to talk a little bit about some of the beliefs around money in your money story. You're going to have some homework to really take a peek at and go, okay, so if I believe that money is a spiritual idea, that money came from God, it's a resource and a tool for me, then why am I hating it so much? Why am I stressing about it so much? Why am I pushing it away so much? Why am I so mad at it? Why does it keep me up at night? Why do I stress? Why do I think it's elusive? Instead, why don't I love it? Why don't I appreciate it? Why don't I be grateful for it? And why don't I ask for a heck of a lot more? Why not? I know it's deep, but it's important. It's important concepts because I'm changing, I'm shaking up, I'm loosening the model. You have a model in the subconscious mind right now that believes certain things about money, and those beliefs are what are creating your reality around it. How can one person experience money in so much overflow that they have way more than they could ever spend in their lifetime? How can one person experience that and one person experience not having any of it, stressing about it, worrying about it, can't sleep at night? Is it that money is horrible and awful? No, it's inherently good. It's inherently useful. It's inherently powerful. And it's not the money that's powerful, it's your use of the money that makes it powerful. People think that money is going to give them something. Money will make me worthy. Money will make me successful. Money will make me this and that. No, it's your use of the money that does. If you put money into a bank account, or not a bank account because a lot of the bank accounts grow now, but if you stuffed your mattress full of money and you put it in there, how much is the money worth? Absolutely nothing. It has no value whatsoever. It will not change you at all. It's your use of the money that will change your life. Prosperity is what you have when your money is spent. When it's circulated, when it's used. So some people will be like, oh, I made all this money and then I spent it all. I made all this money and then I lost it. I don't know where it all went. This is horrible. And I'm like, what? No, this is wonderful. You circulated it. You used it. This is what we're meant to do. We're meant to use money. It is a tool. So what are you using it for? That's the key. So now I use it for things that bring me more in. And what brings me more money? Me, my consciousness, my belief system, my understanding, who I think I am. Yeah. Money, I have to read what she just wrote here. This is funny. Money is like manure. It should be spread around, encouraging things to grow. Dolly Levy from Hello Dolly. That's so beautiful. Yeah. And you're going to notice, like as I'm talking, I want you to notice when I say something and you're like, oh no, Kathleen, that's not true. Or, oh, Kathleen, that's crazy. That's not my experience. I want you to take note of that. What is your experience with money right now? Write that down on your piece of paper. What is my experience with money now? What is that question going to tell you? What is that going to reveal to you, that question about money? What is my experience with money right now? It's going to tell you what's programmed in the subconscious mind. And I don't want any of you to have any guilt or shame or get mad at yourself for that. It is an awareness. So when I say that something is an awareness, I'm removing the emotional component and the judgment around what that awareness means for you. So when I find out something about a situation and the human condition wants to make that situation mean something, that there's a story behind it, and to judge it. So oftentimes, to reserve judgment, I will say, okay, this is simply an awareness. What am I becoming aware of that I wasn't aware of before? This is the growth for all of you. You can't shift what you don't know, what you're not aware of. So I want to make you aware. So you know when I said I'm loosening the model? It's the pattern. It's the program in the subconscious mind. I want to loosen that up a little bit, make you aware of it so that you can sit here and go, okay, does this belief about money actually serve me? Is this helpful? And if we manifest every belief precedes manifestation, belief comes before manifestation, then we can sit here and we can say, okay, do I want to manifest this belief? So somebody throw in the comments here, either on YouTube or on the Zoom, throw a belief about money that you have that is non-productive in the chat, please. I don't have enough money, okay? So if you believe that you do not have enough money, belief precedes manifestation. So you're saying, thank you, God, for giving me not enough money. I would love not enough money. I'm switching it around to make it more shocking for you, but it's the truth of it, right? So one of the beliefs that I had was that I had to work really, really hard to make money, and that I had to work more hours to make money, that I had to work overtime. I was a registered nurse. Do you know how many times I worked 18-hour shifts to make more money? 18 hours. People, I'm half joking about this, but not. But you're not going to catch me doing 18 hours of nothing. Maybe sleep. But 18 hours I would work in a hospital at the bedside, standing on my feet to make overtime to make more money. Why? Why would I do that? Because I had a belief system that I had to work harder, that I had to work more hours in order to make more money. I also believed that I needed to get more degrees, more certification, more education. I'm not saying that education is bad, but what I'm saying is, do we absolutely need an education, a formal education? Do we need 2 bachelor's degrees and a master's degree and 7 other certifications to make more money? No, we do not. How do we know? There's people that don't have formal education that are multimillionaires and billionaires. So, if it's possible for another human to do it, it means it is possible for me to do it. 100% believe that. So, if I look at the people in my life that are doing what I'm currently doing, and I pay attention to them and I watch them and I get inspired by them, I'm going to use them as an example of what can be done. And so what'll end up happening is we will all stay in this box. The box of beliefs. And then we will stay in this box of a human experience. So the box I was in was the get a job, work for somebody else, and hopefully make $100,000 a year, have a pension and benefits, and retire at 65. That was my box. I decided to go, you know what? No, I'm going to start looking outside of my box at other people that are doing beautiful, inspiring things. And I'm going to take myself out of my box and open myself up to infinite potential, because outside of the box is where potentiality is. It's not in the box. So I had to leave the box, the safety and the comfort of the box that I was in, and be open to infinite potentiality outside of the box. And then guess what did I do? I found other people around me that were making millions of dollars, used to be nurses. One used to be a nurse. One used to be a corporate exec, making millions of dollars in the online space. And I went, anything any other human can do, I can do too. And so I chose to use them as an example of what was possible for me. And then I thought, okay, what do they think about money from where they're at? What do the millionaires think about money? What do the billionaires think about money? And I allowed myself to question my beliefs. So money is a spiritual idea. That's my belief. It is a tool, a resource that was given to us from source energy through God and has now allowed us to use it. So what does that do about any of the negative beliefs that we have around money? It's bad, it's wrong. What are some of the beliefs that the world has taught us about money? I will never forget one of my beautiful, I don't know if she's on here, Nakia, one of my beautiful private clients. She used to believe that in order to make money, you needed to be dishonest. She's an honest woman. So that's a limitation, isn't it? So one of the things that you will learn about me, if you haven't felt this already, is one of the things that I strive for is to embody the state of authenticity as much as I possibly can. I want to be my authentic self. I want to be honest. I want to be truthful. And I want to be authentic. And so I truly do believe that authenticity is what makes my energy so attractive and allows me to connect into money. So I do not believe at all that you have to lie or cheat people or be dishonest or manipulate others in order to become profitable in your life. I truly believe that the more good you do, the more beautiful karma you create for yourself and for future lifetimes. But I truly believe that you will be compensated for it based on the goodness, right? So somebody just sent me that a belief is that money, if you take too much, you're taking too much of your share and you're taking from someone else. Ooh, that's a goodie. It's actually, well, it's not good, but it's good to be aware of it. So what if we believe that there's only a certain amount of money, and if I take too much, I'm taking away from others? Oh my gosh, I don't see it that way. I actually see the more that I'm able to be open to receive wealth, the more I'm able to circulate it. You know, I was able to sponsor Miami Pro League this summer, and I sat in that gym, and it is a summer basketball league affiliated with the NBA, and it's in Miami High School, and the community gets to come in and watch basketball games at no cost. So the kids living all in that area get to come and watch basketball games at no cost, and they get to sit there and watch some of their favorite NBA players up close playing basketball. And so I sat there having sponsored it and going like, wow, like look at where the circulation went. Look at where me being open to receive more wealth in my life now is impacting people in this way. So, you know, there's a lot of like charitable donations that we've done as a team in Diamond Academy, but it's also circulating wealth to my team members, and like my family members are part of Diamond Academy. I have my mother in the company. I've got my father in the company. I've got my beautiful sister in the company. And so because I've allowed myself to be an open vessel to receive more wealth, I'm able to circulate generously to people and to move that energy. So if I believe that I'm taking money for me and I'm taking my share and it takes from others, it's going to be a limitation. It's going to be a kink in the hose. We don't want a kink in the hoses. We want to be wide open vessels to receive. So money is a spiritual idea. The second thing, once you shift this belief around money and you start to see it differently, I want you to be abundance. Be abundance, okay? So once we start to think about money differently, we see it as different. It's a resource. We love it. We're grateful for it. We want more of it. How can I be it? You cannot match the experience of abundance in a lack and limitation mindset, right? So worrying about money late at night is not a task that will bring about more money into your life. It's resistive. It keeps you in the state of having no money in your life. So let's think about it this way, law of expression. Okay, so this is one of the laws that I teach in my by law course, which by law, I'm going to be teaching it soon, so stay tuned. But the law of expression says that we naturally express based on the beliefs in the subconscious mind. So if I am worried about money, I'm in lack and limitation, I need it, there's not enough of it, I stress about it, I worry about it, how am I going to show up in life when it comes to money? Naturally. Am I going to be like highly optimistic? Am I going to take financial risks? Am I going to be bold and daring when it comes to money? Am I going to open up opportunities for myself? Am I going to invest in myself? Probably not. Am I going to take out a loan towards my growth? No. I'm going to naturally express the beliefs in the subconscious mind, and then those create. So does investing in yourself bring more money to you? Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's one of the best and greatest investments I have ever made in my life. I would not be here telling this story to you in this moment right now if I did not invest in myself. I did not invest in a company. I invested in me. That was the decision. Okay? That's the decision that led me here. Now, I'm investing in companies, yes. But then I invested in me to get my consciousness up to match abundance and prosperity. So I want us to understand that in order for us to call in an experience into our lives, we must first vibrationally match that experience in our consciousness first. So you can't have something until you be it first. So how are we going to call all of the good of the world into us if we're not being good ourselves? Neil Donald Walsh, if you want the best the world has to offer, you have to offer the world your best. If we want more love, do we go and try and find it around us? No, we be more love today. Whenever I feel out of sync with my spirit, with my soul, when I'm heavy into my human, there's fear, there's worry, there's doubt. I'm not like, oh, how can I go change the world so it's better for me? No, I say, okay, how can I be love today? How can I move into love today? And the simple act of moving into the experience of love shifts me out of fear almost immediately. Move into love instead. So it's the same thing with abundance. We cannot manifest increased wealth into our lives from lack and limitation. We need to do it from abundance. So what does it mean to be abundance? How can we be abundance? What I'm talking to you guys about is actually a state of being. To actually be something. So not to think of something. I'm not asking you to think about abundance. Okay, maybe we'll start there, but I want you to be it, not just think about it. I don't want you to just talk about it. I want you to be it. I don't want you to just sometimes let abundance come in and out of your life. I want you to be it. I want you to experience it, right? So the example that I've given so many times about states of being is that no matter what in moment human emotion I'm experiencing right now, I am a happy woman. I am in a state of being of happiness. Every day, I am a happy woman. I am being happy. And then I have sad moments. I have moments of frustration. I have moments of anger. But I'm still a happy woman. So see, the state of being is to actually take on the identity of it. And then yes, you're going to have a flux of emotions. That is the human experience we all signed up for. We want to experience our human. The problem is that when we get sad, we suddenly take on the identity of being a sad person. When we're not, we're having a sad moment, and the sadness will move to and through. So how can we be abundance? And maybe there's moments of lack and limitation that come to and through, but we be abundance. So Robert Russell, I talked about this on Dumb Money. This is such a beautiful concept, okay? Robert Russell talks about an inner sense of plenty. Not an outer sense of plenty. An inner sense of plenty. Yes, Mirth, I think is your name. It's a decision, okay? You can arbitrarily choose to be any state of being at any moment you desire. That is your control of your consciousness. Who controls our emotional states? We do. Who decides what emotion they want to feel in every moment? You do. Right? So if I'm truly living from the inside out and not the outside in, I control my emotional state. I control the state of being that I am in. And the only time that anybody else is controlling it is when I let them control it. So I'm literally like, oh, okay, you said something that I don't like. I'm going to pay attention to it. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to fight up against it. I'm going to make it true. I'm going to react to it, and I'm going to take the emotion of it on. I still made that decision. Nobody can hurt my feelings. I am the only one that can hurt my feelings. And so I'm choosing to let what you said hurt my feelings. So I'm letting you control my emotional state. So I want to take that back. So I decide my emotional state. I have control over it. So I get to decide what I want to be in any moment. So I'm going to be abundance. I'm going to have an inner sense of plenty. So at the beginning, I asked you the question, is it possible for somebody to have no money and be happy? Is it possible for someone to have no money and to be fulfilled? And you all were like, yes. Yes, it is possible. So that means it's possible for you right now. Whatever your financial situation is in this moment today, right now, it's possible for you to feel abundant no matter what you have. And there's a couple of little tricks that you can do to get you there. You can see the abundance around you everywhere right now in this moment. Abundance is what? A lot of. So what is there a lot of around you? There's a lot of water, there's a lot of air, there's a lot of clouds, there's a lot of mountains, there's a lot of ocean, there's a lot of sand, there's a lot of wasps. Someone said a lot of wasps. Okay, whatever's helping you feel abundant. I would prefer that there not be a lot of wasps around me right now, but that's funny. So I want you to feel the abundance everywhere around you. But I don't want you to discount or ignore the financial abundance that you have in your life and that you've experienced in your life, right? So Right now in this moment, you might look in your bank account and say there's not a lot in there, or maybe it's in overdraft, or maybe you're in debt. And your human condition, your ego mind will say, oh, how did you get there? How did you do that? What's wrong with you? You're just not good enough. You messed up. You made a mistake. You did something wrong. You did something bad. This is what the human will try to tell you. But that is only true if you believe it. Who said being in debt's a bad thing? Who said a bank account without much in it is a bad thing? According to who? To really, really tap into prosperity is to be in a state of financial flux. And what I have learned is that some of the wealthiest people, I have met a lot of wealthy people over the past couple of years, they don't have huge bank accounts full of money sitting there. They go into debt in amounts that some of us would like, what? You just got $100 million line of credit? And some of us are like, oh, $3,000 in debt. What am I going to do with myself? They have a different perspective on money, a different belief. And so to them, debt's not a bad thing. They're not looking at debt going, oh man, I'm $25,000 in debt. How dare I? What an awful human I am. You don't have to believe that about yourself. You really don't. The experience can be whatever you desire it to be. So what I'm saying is, I want you to be abundance, and I want you to see how much abundance you have moved in your life. I did an exercise once on a live event where I had everybody go through their lifetime and add up all the money they've made in their lifetime. This one woman was like, Kathleen, I've made $2 million in my lifetime. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it? That's pretty phenomenal. But we look at, well, where the heck is the $2 million? I lost it. I squandered it. I wasted it. What? You circulated it. You used it. It's a tool. It's a resource. It's like having a glass of water in front of you and not drinking it. I'll just take a little sip now. It is meant to be used. It's meant to be circulated. So this is what I mean by like changing some of your beliefs, right? It just is, and the decision to perceive it in a certain way is what makes it so. And so lack and limitation is a belief that something's wrong, it's bad, that we need to think differently. Abundance and prosperity is that there's a lot of. So I can literally be like, okay, well, there's a lot of money in this world, isn't there? Can we argue with that? Are we running out of money as a society? No. So we want to tap into that. So the world has a lot of money, but we don't. That's the belief I want you to switch. We want to be like, I am open to receive. Money is on its way to me. I am a vibrational match. I am abundance. And just saying money loves me. Money loves me. Here we go, money. Come to me. That's not going to work. I'm sorry, I disagree with that. Just simply believing that money loves you is not going to be one magic belief that's suddenly going to bring it to you. There is so much more. Because when you're saying money loves me, but you believe that it's hard to get and you have to work really hard to make it and there's never enough and you can't afford this and you can't afford that and this is too expensive and you can't pay your bills, the statement of money loves me, it's not true for you. It can be true, but it's not currently true, so you won't experience it. So what I want you to do is I want you to be abundance today, right now, and then be a vibrational match to the abundance experience that you want to have in your life. So I was $50,000 in debt when I started my coaching business, when I launched this. And I was so excited about the millions of dollars that were on their way to me from my imagination, the millions of dollars I was dreaming about, that I was asking for, that I would love, that I had no feeling about the $50,000 debt. I had no feeling because in my head, it was gone. Millions are coming. Why am I going to stress about the 50K when millions are coming? But most of us are in, well, I have to worry about the 50K because I'm not so sure the millions are coming. I want them, but I'm not convinced. You must be convinced. And this is what I help people do, is convince themselves they're millionaires, and then they will have that experience. We're going to convince you. Well, you're going to convince yourself. I can't really convince you. Perspective on the lottery. The lottery is an interesting thing, isn't it? The lottery is an interesting thing. People are like, well, I'm going to manifest winning the lottery. And I said, okay, do it. But in order for me to manifest $32 million in my business, I was wide open to receive the idea that it's going to come in any and all ways, through any and all vehicles and vessels. Here we are. My mind was wide open to it. I could have absolute faith and belief that it was going to move in that way. But with the lotto, the most limiting thing is there's a one winner out of how many people that have bought tickets. So your mind, you have got to convince your mind with absolute certainty you are the one winner of that lottery. And that is the one way your money is going to come. And when you are absolutely convinced with absolute faith that you are the one winner, you can manifest it. But the problem is, your mind is your mind going to believe it? That's the thing. So I would just, you can do it, you can try. But I want to accept beliefs that are absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, possible. The other thing is, for me, with the lotto, I care more about impacting this world than I do about the money. So I would never set a goal to win the lotto because I want to change the world. Could winning the lotto change the world? Sure. But like, my life has a purpose. It has a calling. So I want to serve in this way, and I want to be open to receive in this way. And so that's the way in which I've chosen. I still buy lotto tickets, guys. Of course I do. I buy one lotto ticket every week. Actually, it's like every 2-3 weeks. Like, if you're not even in the game, how are you even gonna, like, come on, I gotta at least have a ticket. I'm not even asking for it if I don't even buy a ticket, right? Isn't that the truth? Okay, I want to come back and talk about identity, but I want to do, we're going to do an interview because these financial stories are very, very important for you. Social proof, right? So you can sit here and you can listen to me tell my $32 million story over 4 years and not necessarily relate to it. But when we share stories of other people in our lives and in our energies and in our community that are seeing things like this shift, it helps you to grow your belief in what's possible for you in a way that'll be relatable. So Shannon's going to come on here and she's going to interview Casey. Now, Casey is my everything. Okay, I'm probably going to make her feel a little uncomfortable that I'm saying this, but she is an integral part of Diamond Academy, and she runs and knows everything in our corporation, and she keeps us moving. She's behind the scenes, and we're bringing her out of being behind the scenes and putting her on stage today because she shared with us a beautiful story about how this work has impacted her family financially, and so we wanted her to come on here and share. So Shannon, are you here?
I'm here.
There she is. So Shannon's going to interview Casey. I'll be here, and then I'll come back right after, but I'll let you guys share. Where's Casey? Oh, there she is. This is so fun.
Okay, Casey. Okay, like Kathleen said, Casey is everything. She's the wizard behind Diamond Academy. Her and Jen, they are like, seriously, like, you peek around the curtain, Casey's got it. She juggles a lot of other things too, 3 littles in her home. And this girl, I'm not gonna make you do it, Casey, but she's got like abs for days. And
you.
I know this is making you uncomfortable, so I'm gonna just like let you tell your story, kind of like where you were before Diamond Academy, because you have a really cool money story, and everyone wants to hear it. But like, I want you to show us where you were before Diamond Academy.
Okay, so where I was before Diamond Academy, I was working corporate healthcare like Kathleen. And in 2019, I had my second son and kind of decided that I hated corporate. I wasn't there for my kids, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm just going to quit my job. I didn't really want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm like, okay, this is just what I'll do. So 2019, right before COVID hit, I quit my corporate job, no idea what I was going to do, but I told my husband, I'm like, I'm smart. I have a master's, bachelor's, whatever. I'll figure something out. Took some time off until like till right before COVID. And I started just like a virtual assistant business as something to do to make some money. I had 2 kids at home, so I was like, I got to be able to be flexible. So I started a virtual assistant business and just networking online. I ended up coming across a mutual acquaintance of Kathleen's and started working for her. And then eventually ended up doing work for Kathleen for a while and kept growing my virtual assistant business, but kept getting more into operations. That's what I did in healthcare, was more like operation stuff. And then I don't even know when it was, but at one point I ended up leaving Kathleen's Energy. The person I was working with, we left. And so I went away for a little bit, had my 3rd kid, and was working for other people when I had my 3rd kid home, and found myself in another position that I wasn't happy with. I left corporate, but all of a sudden it felt very corporate again. And so I quit that, and I reached out to Kathleen at one point saying, hey, if you ever need anything, I'm here. And
When was that, Casey? Like, what year was that?
So it was 2021. So I had my son February of 2021. And I reached out sometime shortly after. I was like, okay, this isn't working. And probably like end of summer, Kathleen and Chris reached out and said, hey, we need you to find us a VA. I was like, oh, okay. I did that before for them. I'm like, yeah, not a problem. I sat on it for a night. I'm like, well, I'm their VA. Like I'm like, I'm their VA. That I'm not going to find them a VA. I'll do it. So I messaged them, and that's how I came back. So I was only gone for a little bit, came back like end of summer, beginning of fall of 2021, and I haven't left. I've been here since. My role has completely changed in the last, 3 years, from just doing like virtual assistant basic tasks to, like you said, doing all kinds of stuff. Everyone always asks me what I do, and it's more of like, what don't I do? Kind of. So that's how I got back into Kathleen's Energy. So I've been in her energy for a long time in the manifestation world. Even before I met Kathleen, I took TIR with another client, and so always been in the work, but more recently have been trying to put it into work. I'm a very mechanical person, so getting out of the mechanics is very hard. Kathleen's dad and I get along very well because we're always talking numbers and operations, the things that I have to do. But I told myself that I've got to get out of the mechanics when I don't have to be in the mechanics. And so I found myself daydreaming in the car. I drive a lot. I got to take my kids many places, working in the car. So I do a lot of thinking in the car. And one day I started thinking, like, oh, it would be nice to have some more money. Not that I don't need more money. We have a great life. We have a great house. My kids do whatever they want. We take vacations when we want. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have more money? And I knew more money was coming into my life at the end of the summer. My kid was leaving daycare, was getting a nice little pay raise. So I already knew more money was coming. But I'm like, oh, more than that would be really nice. And about a month and a half ago, we got a random call from my in-laws during the week. They don't normally call us during the week. So my husband's like, oh God, something happened, someone's hurt. Like it's usually not a good thing. No, his mom wanted to give us $10,000. We're like, okay, I am happy to accept $10,000. Thank you. her mom lives in Canada and she needed to get rid of money basically. And so she gave her daughter, her kids, each a certain amount of money. And then my mother-in-law decided she was going to gift us $10,000. I'm like, okay, awesome. Cool. Love that. And so my husband and I were talking about the $10,000 and all of a sudden I was like, oh, we got to submit our daycare stubs because we put money aside that's tax-free in the US that we can, that we can receive back. So all of a sudden there was another $5,000 that came back to me like the same week because we submitted our daycare stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now there's $15,000. I was like, awesome, this is great. Here's a nice little vacation and, whatever else we need. But I still, found myself daydreaming about more money. And again, not that I need it. I'm fine. I'm living a great life. And my husband came to me one day and he's like, I'm getting an award. I was like, oh, cool. He works for Caterpillar, a big company. And he told me he was getting, I think it's called like the VP, Vice President Award or something like that. I was like, oh, what does it mean? He's like, I don't know. I have to write up, submit something to my boss and tell him what I did for this project thing. I was like, okay, cool. A couple weeks later, he comes back. He's like, well, I'm not getting the VP award anymore. I was like, oh, well, that stinks. Okay. He's like, I'm getting the CEO award. I was like, oh, what does that mean? He's like, I really don't know. But I'm getting it. It's just a formality and we're waiting for paperwork to go through. I was like, oh, cool. Okay. Couple weeks later, I was like, so did you ever find out about this like CEO award? What is it? Like, what did you do? I don't fully understand what he does. He's an engineer and it's above and beyond. He doesn't understand what I do. We're kind of mutual. We don't get it. But he ended up doing some digging and he finally found out that basically the CEO award, you get a large sum of money, whether that's either in cash or stock. And I was like, oh, okay. I will take that. So lo and behold, we're coming into 50,000 in stock this next month. We don't know the official number because it'll all come in next month in September, but a random, I've been thinking more money and all of a sudden he's like, okay, we're going to get 50 plus in Caterpillar stock, which I was like, I'll take stock because in the long run, that's going to be more money. And it's interesting thinking back on all of this on my daydreaming. And I didn't share this with the team, but at one point I was actually looking at investing and buying in a little business. And I thought, oh, that's how the more money is going to come. I'm going to buy this business and that's how I'm going to bring in more money. But it ended up falling through. It didn't seem right. Was messaging with the woman. She was selling her business. And I'm like, it just didn't feel right at the time. So I just said no, and I just let it go. And when I let that go, it was probably like a week later is when my husband came to me and said, hey, we're going to get like $50,000 in Caterpillar stock. I'm like, okay. So that's, yeah. So that's
you were on the frequency. You said at the end of the summer, this is what I heard. The end of the summer, we're going to be this much more money because of daycare, and all the daycare moms on here know that because it's a pricey penny, right? So
yeah.
So you were on that frequency for that, and then you allowed it. You were not attached to the outcome. So you guys hear that. She wasn't attached. She's like, oh, sure, let's go, right?
Yeah, like I have no, like, I don't need the more money. I mean, it's great. My husband's like, oh, look, we're going to take an extra vacation this year. I'm like, okay, cool. So, now we're talking about Disney, which scares me a little for the kids, but I'm like, oh, I had been thinking about Disney and all of a sudden the money comes. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, we're going to do Disney this year. So yeah, I wasn't attached. I didn't care. It's nice. It's great. And we'll see what we do with the money, and we'll leave the Caterpillar stock and let it grow and just let it sit there and make us some more money.
Love that. And you were dreaming. You said that in your imagination. And Kathleen talks about that all the time, playing in your imagination. So I love that. Okay, so what's next for you then, Casey? Like, if you're just bringing it all this, what's next for you?
I will not be leaving Kathleen. So, what's next for me is I am on Kathleen's journey. I've told her from the beginning, I'm here to help grow her business, and we've got big things coming. And I have, again, I daydream in the car all the time. That's where I get all my good ideas. Normally I'm calling Jen. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about, or taking notes. I'm sending notes in the car because it seems to be, as I found, my best daydreaming place is just in the car waiting in carpool line. But I start dreaming about what Diamond Academy is going to do and what I'm going to do at Diamond Academy. I don't know exactly what that looks like yet. I have ideas and dreams and hopes and wishes, but the way that it goes, I don't care. I'm not attached to the outcome. I know it's going to be good no matter what it is, because Kathleen's here to change lives, and I know I'm going to be a part of that. So we'll see what it's going to be.
Me too. Let's dream together. I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh, guys, that was so beautiful. I just want to point out a couple things that Casey said that I think are powerful and important. The detached state is, Casey wasn't in a state of, I need this money in order to be worthy, in order to be happy, in order to feel fulfilled, in order to know that I'm good and successful. She was truly in a detached state. And the way in which Casey talks about dreaming is really in this I've got nothing to lose place. So this nothing to lose type of dreaming is where I want all of you to be in. We get like afraid to dream. Like if we create a dream and we say we want this big life, and then it never happens, oh, well, then we failed. But why is it failure to dream of a fantastic, incredible life and then take the steps towards it? Like, to me, that's not failure. Failure is believing that you can't have it and staying in the same place and staying where you are today. To me, that's failing to move and failing a lot to allow the dream to come in. So anyway, I just noticed that, Casey, while you were talking. But hey, I don't know, somebody said something in the chat about like, Casey, like, why would you manifest working for Kathleen if you could manifest whatever you want in life? Don't be planting any seeds. Casey's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. I told Kathleen that many, many times. She's not getting rid of me. And I will have to say, without this job, without working for Kathleen, my kids wouldn't have the life that they live. My daughter spends 12 hours at the gym for gymnastics. I take my kids to school. I pick them up every single day. I rarely miss their activities, and it's all because I have this job with Kathleen, and I love it. I have no desire to leave it. So
yeah, and I think all of us are so driven here by the impact that we're making. All of the, like, we get to see people manifesting things on repeat every single day. We get to see the testimonials. We get to listen to the emotions that people bring to us, the curing of illness and mental health and disease, and the manifestation of more money, and the manifesting beautiful divorces and manifesting beautiful new marriages into their lives. I mean, we help people with whatever. So we get to see it and be around it every single day. And I honestly can't imagine doing anything else with this life. This is God's work that we are doing here. I do know that and believe that to be true. So it's very fulfilling and rewarding. And it's not just about having money. It's about the journey and what you do with that journey and the fulfillment that you feel along the journey. And so I think Casey's a beautiful testament to that. She's built a beautiful life for her family and is doing something that she loves and she's passionate about. And if that's not manifestation, then I don't know what is. Let's be honest. Yeah.
And those abs, Kathleen, and those abs.
Yeah, you guys, she's
you gotta see them.
Yeah, she's got abs. I think it's like an 8-pack or something in there.
Yeah, well, I gotta keep up with my daughter. She's outdoing me now in gymnastics, so that's my goal in life: keep up with my daughter.
Yeah, you guys are so good. Oh, now everybody's gonna want to see the abs. How do you feel about me posting, Casey?
I mean, it's been posted before. I think there was a picture at one of the events when we did the magazine covers. There was a picture before. So
okay, I'm gonna get
it's on the internet someplace.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Casey to send me the picture, and I'll put it on my stories on Instagram. Okay. So go to my stories on Instagram. Follow me over there and I'll post it today. She's like, oh man, come on. Okay, ladies, thank you. I want to talk about identity really, really quick. And then I'm going to give away the first, not give away. I'm going to, what was the language? I'm going to, there was a certain word I used because I don't want to say give away. We're not giving anything away. We're present, share. Look at everybody giving me the words. ask and you shall receive. The universe just provides me with the language. I'm like, oh, what's the word? And you all give it to me. See how like everything's always being delivered all the time? I'm going to present the scholarship to the first person. There's going to be lots and lots of opportunities for you guys to get involved with the scholarship opportunity going forward. So make sure that you speak with our team and stuff like this. What we've really done is we've really tried to make it fair and equitable, but really have the scholarship go to somebody who has the drive, the discipline, the persistence, the commitment to change, to grow, to ascend, but does not have the financial capacity right now to do so. So there are people that have the drive, the commitment, the persistent, the discipline to change and to shift and to grow, who have access to the financial capacity to invest, but are too afraid to. That's not who the scholarship recipient will be. This person is, if I had it, I would absolutely do it. So that's the difference. I hope you can see the difference there in why we did this scholarship. Anyways, but first I want to just talk about identity, because I want to make it super clear that the manifestation of more abundance in your life has to do with a personal growth and development ascension related to who you think you are. So the best analogy that I have seen that has worked for me, and this just came from my own head, Source Energy said, this is a good example, Kathleen. So we create a vision board. We decide we want a multi-million-dollar home. We want a hot tub. We want to travel to the Philippines. We want to go to Dubai. We want to have a G-Wagon and a Louis Vuitton purse. And we want to donate and sponsor a village in Africa. And we want to have a cottage on the water. And we want to take our kids to Hawaii for 3 weeks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We create the vision on the vision board of the life that we want, the lifestyle that we desire, to create the demand to allow the money to flow to and through us. And so for me, that's the vision board I created. Some of those things weren't really what I wanted, but a lot of it was. And so I created this vision board, and then I looked at it and I went, okay, vision board, here we go. Let's have this beautiful life. And then I was a nurse making $100,000 a year, working full-time, making $40 an hour. Okay, so where's the multi-million-dollar house and the trips to Dubai and the G-Wagon and the Louis Vuitton bags? And like, where's the money going to flow through for that? Like my nursing career, am I manifesting an increase in nursing wages across the country? No, I have to become a different version of myself that I am not yet. I have to choose to do something different. I have to choose to be open to receive a new opportunity. Right? That's the difference. So I had to become Kathleen Cameron, CEO, manifestation teacher, author, leader, speaker, to call in the experience on the vision board. This is the work. This is the work. It's not to say that everyone has to become an entrepreneur. That's not what we're saying. We have people who have manifested job promotions in their corporate career, right? So you're at a position here making this much money in your current career, and you desire to make this much. We can grow into the version of you that would move up into that position. So we had one woman who actually skipped two promotions, 2 executive levels. She went from making like 100 and something thousand a year to jumping up 2 levels to making $500,000 a year in her career. That's almost a 4x in her income, and went up 2 places. It could be a job in a new place, making more commission. It could be if you're in a sales position where right now you sell, something once a week, and we're going to get you to a place where you sell something once a day. You might have a store that profits $100,000 a year. We're going to manifest $1 million a year in profit through your store. But that comes through you and who you are being, the frequency of vibration that you are on. So identity, I love this word. How do you identify yourself? I noticed in the comments and in the chat some ways that you guys are identifying yourself. So some people will say, I'm middle class. Some of you will say that I live in poverty. Some of you will say, I'm poor, I'm broke. Some of you will say that you grew up not having much, things like that. How you identify yourself will be the way in which you will continue to manifest to you from the identification. It is the idea in the subconscious mind that you are creating from. So I think about someone like, what's his name? The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, right? I don't know his story like immensely, so I don't want to get too specific and like mess it up. But what I know is that he was born into a poverty consciousness, and he wasn't born into the life he lives today. He wasn't born into the identity of The Rock. He was born into a different identity and a different belief system. And so he had to see something different for himself than what his world around him told him he would be, could be, and was, right? So he accepted a different identity in the subconscious mind and moved towards that idea. So did I. I had to let go of the idea that I was a registered nurse making $100,000 a year, living in a moderate house in a small town in Canada. And now I see myself as the top manifestation teacher in the entire world. Mother of manifestation, that's what I changed my name on Instagram. I believe that there are fathers of manifestation. There are teachers of this work that have come in the past that have been a game changer for us. They have laid the foundation. They have created information that is so profound, so beautiful, and so needed. The fathers of manifestation. But now the world is in a time where the feminine is required. That masculine energy is so beautiful and so needed. Now we bring in the divine feminine and the mothers of manifestation. So it's not to say I am the only one that is meant to teach this work. I only say that I'm the best manifestation teacher in the world so I can tap into that identity. What would that be like? Where would I think from? How would I feel? How would I show up? What bold risks and moves would I take? What would I confidently do? Right? And so I had to believe that about myself. How many of you came from the YouTube channel? Let me know in the comment. If you're on the YouTube channel, say me, I'm on the YouTube channel, right? So what happened there? Why all of a sudden did my YouTube channel pick up? Why all of a sudden am I being put in front of people? Why are you guys finding me just now? My YouTube channel has been there for 4 years. It took me 4 years to build it to 9,000 subscribers. And in 4 months, we grew by another 40,000. Why? Because 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I tapped into a new identity of myself. I allowed myself to say, I am open to receive the millions of people that I am meant to serve through this work. I am open to help them. I am here to give this information to the masses. And when I did that, the YouTube channel picked up. Every decision that we make inside of us creates a ripple effect in the world outside of us. And to think that you are not important, you are not worthy, you are not good enough, you can't make this kind of impact, who do you think you are? How dare you? You are so important, you are so valuable. Every single one of you that is on this live stream, that's watching the YouTube channel right now, watching the replay, is on this Zoom right now, your presence makes a difference to this event right now. Every single one of you. Take you out of it, it's a different experience. You are important. And I say that because I'm a woman who didn't believe she was important, who wanted to leave this world, who did not believe she was worth even being here, that I would be better to be gone than to be here to serve. What did I do? I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I do believe I'm worthy. I do believe I'm important. I do believe I can make an impact, and I do believe that I can help you. But I had to choose to change my mind. So yes, I want every single one of you to tap into a higher level of wealth in your life. Yes, I want you to experience abundance. Yes, I want you to have all the finer things. I want you to experience abundance and luxury and freedom and wealth. But more so, I want you to know your worth. I want you to make a difference. I want you to sit here and say, I really want to help people. And I want to be abundantly compensated for it, but I really want to make a difference, and I really want to help people, and I think I can do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a decision to do it. So like The Rock, who made a decision to see himself differently outside of his current identification. He identified himself one way, and he decided to identify himself in a new way. So this is what I want you to go within and to ask. Who am I? Why am I important? Why am I valuable? How can I help people? How can I make a difference? And really, really notice that the way in which you see yourself is the way in which the world will see you. You guys are such a beautiful reflection for me. I will write something down, a way that I want to see myself, a way that I want to serve, an impact that I want to make. I will write it down. And I will get comments and messages literally saying back to me what I wrote down. What I wrote down. That's not by coincidence. I know the ocean is so beautiful. It's God just talking to us all through the waves and through me. Yeah. So identity is very, very important, and it's very, very powerful. And we can't talk about money without talking about identity. There is so much in your identity that speaks volumes related to your worth, right? So if you don't believe you are worthy of financial abundance, it's not going to make its way to you. You're not worthy. You're not asking for it. You're not even going for it, right? If you don't believe you are worthy of followers on your social media platform, if you don't think you're good enough for them, if you don't think anybody's going to care enough to follow you, you're not going to grow your following. You have to believe that there is something very important about you, about your impact, about what you have to say. I say all the time, people say to me, I want to be a speaker. I want to speak on stage, and I want to speak in front of 10,000 people. And I say, okay, who do you need to be to do that? Not how am I going to get the opportunity? Like, who's going to hire me? Let's find it. Let's figure it out. No. The opportunity will come to you when you match the vibration. You're not a vibrational match. Nobody's coming to ask you to speak on a stage in front of 10,000 people because you don't think you're a world famous speaker on a stage in front of 10,000 people. When you believe you are, that's when the people will come and ask you. So who do you need to be to get up on stage and speak in front of 10,000 people? What beliefs would you have to hold about yourself in order to do that? This is a beautiful identity conversation. So think about some speakers that are out there in the world that you follow, that you love. How do they show up? What's the feeling that they're in? When you watch them, what are you thinking? Wow, they speak so well. They're so confident. They share their story. They're honest. They're vulnerable, especially motivational speakers. Honest, vulnerable, yet passionate, right? They believe in what they're saying. They have conviction, right? They have conviction. But here's the thing. The other piece is they have to see the value of their words. So when you sit down to offer people information, insight, advice, when you do a speech or a keynote conversation, and you're delivering information to people, you must believe that what you are saying is true. You must believe it's important. You must believe it's powerful. And you must believe that what you have to say matters and it'll help someone. Can we feel the difference in the identity there? So many of us want to sit, and I love this Brené Brown, she talked about in her docuseries, I think on Netflix, she talked about how, are you in the arena playing the game, or are you sitting in the seats watching? So are you on the stage speaking in front of 10,000 people, or are you in the audience? Listen, I do both. Sit in the audience and get on the stage. But it's just a beautiful example of are you actually in the game, or are you watching from the sidelines? And it's an identity to watch from the sidelines. I'll never forget when I was in university, I have an on-time paradigm. So my belief system is that it's better to be on time and to never be late. And so on time means 5 minutes before it starts. And so I would never go to class unless I was there 5 minutes before it started. If the class already started, I am not going to class. Why would I not go to class 5 minutes into the class? I don't want to be seen. I don't want you to see me walking in late. I don't want the attention. I don't want the visibility. I don't want the judgment. I don't want the eyes on me. Can you imagine? That's not who I am now. No way. Because I convinced myself something different. I would never put my hand up in class. I would sit in the back of the room. I wanted to be hidden. And so for me, in order for me to do God's work, for me to step up and to make a difference, I had to say, Kathleen, it's time to be seen. It's time to be visible. It's okay to be seen. Even the extra weight that I was carrying on my body for many, many years, it hid me. It kept me safe. There was a need for it. And now that I'm okay being visible, I want to be seen. I want to serve. I want my light to influence people. I want to make a difference in this world. The cloak that was covering me is coming off because I don't need to be hidden anymore. It's all about identity and self-concept. And so whatever that is for you, if you think you're too old, if you think you don't have enough education, if you don't think that you are the right gender, the right size, the right race, whatever you think is wrong or flawed about you, I challenge you to change that. Just because the world tells you that it's wrong doesn't mean that you have to believe it's wrong. Do you know that? I didn't know that. I thought the outside world was right. But it's not right. You get to decide for you what you want to believe about you. And so in The Best of Yourself, my newest book, there's a chapter called My Abundant Self. There's many, many, many different versions of the self and different parts and facets to the self. So Kathleen Cameron, or KCB, the identity now that I'm embodying in every single moment, she's very multifaceted. There's many, many different parts. There's the way I am in business, but there's the way I am in friendships. There's the way I am as a mother. There's the way I am as a daughter. There's the way I am in romantic relationships. I'm a single woman out there, so I'm learning so much about this now. There is a way that I am being in terms of wealth and abundance. KCB, Kathleen Cameron, and then I added B for billionaire. Keep it simple, people. I always just create these names for the next level identities that I'm creating. They're ways of tapping in. So when I order my Starbucks, they ask me my name. I say KCB, letter K, letter C, letter B. Nobody asks me what it means. They just say, oh, okay, she's KCB. They accept the belief immediately of who I think I am because I tell them I am. That's how easy this is. I love how you're all putting your acronyms in the chat. Oh, this is so good. I even did KCB nails. I would say this ring is a KCB ring. She's so pretty. She's sparkly. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's all crystals. Alexander McQueen. I had to get it. But these are the things that I do to tap into the identity, the frequency of vibration of an abundant version of myself, right? So who would I be with multi-millions of dollars? Who would I be if I ran a corporation, a multi-million-dollar corporation? This is the answer. If you are the same person that you have always been, who believes the exact same thing about yourself, with the same thoughts, the same feelings, taking the same action every single day, you have not embodied personal growth and development. I want you to say, Kathleen, I'm totally different. I am a different person. I think completely different thoughts. I feel completely different every single day. I move my body completely different. And then once you say that to me, then your outside world is going to change. I don't want you to tell me, oh, I'm a completely different person. My outside world tells me so. It doesn't work like that. You become an ascended, elevated version of yourself, and then your outside world changes. Most of us lose patience. So do it for the transformation. Do it for the transformation, and then the outside world will correspond. But many people will create an elevated, ascended version of themselves and identity, but they fail to look at the abundant self side. So this version of me, the identity that I hold right now about who I am, what are my beliefs specifically related to wealth? What do I believe about money? What do I believe to be true about me and money? How do me and money get along? What's my relationship with money like? What do I think of it? What would it think about me? So the homework for today is going to be to write a love letter to money. Okay, so we have a template. I'll get Jen to put it in the chat. I would love for you to share these. Now, the reason that I ask you to share is it's an accountability mechanism. So you don't have to publicly share it. But the reason that we say to publicly share it is so that it gets you to actually complete the homework and then share it. But the beautiful thing about sharing your love letters as well is that it does serve the community. So I want you to do it for you, but I also want you to do it for other people. So there might be somebody on here who's really struggling with this homework, somebody that just can't connect with gratitude for money, that can't connect to love for money, that is really deep and dark into the negative views around money. And so they might go on to the Facebook group, the Manifested with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group, and see somebody else's love letter to money and get inspired enough to move their model. So if you really, really want to embody this work, I would love for you to write this love letter to money and post it in the Manifested with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group. Send it to your manifestation mentor on my team if you want. Send it to an accountability partner or a friend. But really, really take the time to enjoy and to do this letter. So can we post the link to the Facebook group too? Team? So a love letter to money is specifically addressing a conversation to money. And money is what? A spiritual idea. It's from the divine. So who are we really writing a letter to? To God. Yeah. Yeah. So love letter to God if you want, go right ahead. And I want you to really focus upon gratitude in this letter. I want you to focus upon all the ways in which money has served you, has helped you, has benefited you. I want you to really, really in this love letter to money, come from who you are today and how grateful you are for it, but I want you to also come from who you're becoming, the abundant self. So the version of myself that has millions of dollars, what would I say in this letter? Right? I actually think I've written a love letter to money before. Oh, good. You can never write too many. And every single day, you're a different version of yourself. So if you have done this before, you are a different version of you. You are a different consciousness, just different awareness. So lots and lots of opportunity. If you have questions, I want you to post this letter before tomorrow morning. So before we come back tomorrow, I really want this exercise to be done before you go to day 2, because there's going to be some awarenesses that are going to come up in this letter. And I'm getting you to shift into an abundance mindset through writing this letter. I'm getting you to start to see money differently, speak to it differently, speak to God differently about money, to be grateful for it. Because tomorrow we're going to start to talk about things like money and detachment. And so you cannot be in gratitude and displeasure at the same time, right? So if you're displeased with money, you're not in gratitude. And if you're displeased about your experience with money, you're attached to the outcome. So I'm trying to get you to detach too. So we're going to talk about detachment tomorrow like crazy. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about desire and want. People who want money and are honest and earnest about it and almost become like obsessed with it in a detached way will start to experience more. So detachment from the outcome, want and desire, and then the decision to call more money into your life we're going to talk about tomorrow. It's a decision. So I'd like you to do the homework, please, by the time you watch day 2 of this live event. I'm saying that for people on the replay. We have so many people that go through the replays. So do this homework and then come back, and I will have more homework for you guys to do tomorrow as day 2 of the event. So if you're catching up, don't worry about it. We're going to catch up. I'm going to award the first scholarship today. We have selected one name that'll be the first one today. I'm going to talk about the scholarship now, and then we will end the day with a song. There's a little bit of questions here, so let me make sure we're getting this. Where would you like to post the letter? In the Manifest with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group. You can also tag me on social media, tag me on Facebook, tag me on Instagram. Doesn't matter. Whatever's I just want you to do the homework. That's it. So, on the document that we created, there's instructions for the love letter. So what I just said is actually on the document. So on the YouTube channel, we will have in the comment section the link to the Facebook group, the link to the document as well. But you're writing a love letter to money. Let's talk about the scholarships. So one of the things that I have been really, really thinking about and feeling really, really called to do is to assist more people to be able to get this education and embodiment that we provide here at Diamond Academy, and give it access to people who may not have access. I am someone that has a lot of formal education. I've been through the university system many times. I have 2 bachelor's degrees and a master's degree, and I spent a lot of money, went into a lot of debt to get degrees and get educated. And that education was powerful. It was impactful. I am who I am because of it. We can't say that I'm not. It has led me to the woman that I am today. But I also know that education lacked a huge component, which was embodiment. The embodiment of the self and identity and personal growth and development and spirituality. Nowhere in my university degrees did I learn about how I can direct source energy through my thoughts and through who I am being. Nowhere was I taught that I can absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, direct my life through directing the divine energy towards what I want. And so I truly, truly believe that the work that we do, the education that we provide is important, and it is powerful, and it is needed. So for the scholarships, what I have decided to do is to award 2 scholarships on each of our live events going forward, and really, really allow people an opportunity to get started in one of our programs, our advanced level mentorship programs. So Millionaire Modern Mentor as part of Diamond Academy, an opportunity to get started in the material. So we're offering 2 $3,000 scholarships into Millionaire or Modern Mentor. And so what that means is that those that will be awarded this will be given the $3,000 to go towards their enrollment into Millionaire, for example, and then they will continue on with the course as everyone else would. One of the things that Bob taught me when I was in his energy at the very, very beginning was to never give anything away for free. Okay. So what did he mean by that? Don't give, don't be giving and caring, Kathleen? No. What he meant was, the things that you have created, your intellectual property, your courses, your programs, don't give them away discounted or free to people, because they won't have the same transformation as someone who has paid. So for example, a gym membership. I paid for that and I didn't even go. But the more I pay for the gym membership, the more I pay for the course, the more I pay for the program, the more on the hook I am, the more accountable I am, the more likely I am to follow through and to do it. So I have this thing where in this life, I want to be able to help everybody. I want to teach this to everyone. So my vehicle to do that is the YouTube channel. It is free. Anybody can go on there and they can get value for days, weeks, months. You can go over there and you can consume your heart out and it not cost you anything. So that is the way that I can deliver value in a way that everyone can benefit from. But my academy, my business, the vehicle with which I have an exchange, is for those that are at a capacity to now go further, go deeper, learn more, advance, quantum leap even bigger. They have an opportunity for an exchange. I can serve you in a greater way, in a more thorough way, within a community, and to be able to serve you there in an exchange. And when you make an exchange for your growth, trust me, it's different. YouTube channel transformations are great, phenomenal. But my millionaire transformations, my modern mentor transformations, my inner circle transformations, wowzers. We're going to be in Miami together in a month. And everyone is on fire. They're completely different people. And my one-on-one coaching containers, it's life-changing work, what I'm doing privately with these high-level executives. So it depends on where you are in your journey. It depends on where you want to go and what you do. But the important thing to recognize is that we do have things for everyone, but the most impactful ones are the ones that you will invest in. And it's not a bad thing to invest in yourself. It's a good thing. Your belief system right now tells you can't or you shouldn't. And I would just question why. I am my biggest investment. I have invested probably over $1 million in myself. And I'm so grateful that I chose to see myself in this way. I really do. So some will see that a $3,000 scholarship into one of my courses or programs isn't very generous at all. But I would just question your perspective on that. What if you see it as a way of doing something that you would not have been able to do before? What if it's an opportunity? What if it is amazing, incredible, and generous? Nothing is it just is what it is. We decide if it's good or bad. So it depends on what you believe will be that outcome. So I'm grateful. The person that is going to have our first diamond scholarship, her name is Louisa Gauf. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Gough. Gauf? I don't know. I hope I'm saying it properly. Louisa. Either way, congratulations. Get in touch with a member of our team, please. You should know who your manifestation mentor is. And we are going to get you enrolled into the Millionaire Program effective immediately and get you transforming right away. So congratulations, Louisa. I'll do another one tomorrow. So please reach out to my team. If you haven't heard from my team, if you haven't gotten a hold of anybody yet, if you don't know who your manifestation mentor is, I want you to email info@diamondacademy.ca or send me a private message. Okay? I have somebody helping me in there. So if you're going to DM me, I have support. Don't worry. One time I said I answer my own DMs and it was crazy what I saw in there, but I'm so grateful. I'm still in there with her, but she's helping me. info@diamondacademy.ca. So tomorrow we have some big concepts to discuss. We have another interview tomorrow. You are going to want to hear this. Okay. Another person that's allowing themselves to be open to receive more money. Another scholarship tomorrow. And of course, we will end the day with another song. This song, I don't know if this person is on this live stream right now, but I would absolutely love it if they were. They sent me the song in my DMs. It's called Step Into Your Power by Ray LaMontagne.
They sent it to me and said, Kathleen, I think you are going to love this song. And I have been listening to it probably every day since. And Misty M, you private messaged me. Email us and we'll find you. You can also stay on the chat here if you want for a couple of minutes and put your name, say you're looking for your manifestation mentor. Just don't private message me because I'm not going to look that up. But the team can look it up if you do it publicly. Put your email, we'll get in touch with you. So we will play the song. We're going to stop the YouTube stream in a second because we can't be playing music on the YouTube channel. But you can hop off this recording right now. You can hop off the live stream and go to your Spotify or Apple Music and put Step Into Your Power by Ray LaMontagne, and you can stay in this energy. But if you want, get onto Zoom with us tomorrow so you can dance with us on the Zoom. We always end every single live session with a song because I like to call in the energy and the power behind it. So this song, there's a couple of statements that are really powerful in here that I want all of us to really listen to. It's about stepping into your power. And at one point, he actually says, you actually have everything you already need and that it was given to you the day you were born. Yeah. Isn't that so good? Anyways, let's stay on.